Leave the blind billionaire man. Don't kidnap him. The scream came from a little black girl, barely 12, standing in the middle of the street with her small dog barking beside her. Her name was Sky. Her heart pounded as she watched two tall men dressed in black force a blind old man into a dark van. His silver walking cane slipped from his hands and rolled toward her feet. She picked it up, her hands trembling. "Leave him alone," she yelled again, louder this time. "He's blind. He can't even see you, you heartless people." But the men didn't stop. One turned and shouted, "Mind your business, kid," before shoving the helpless billionaire into the van and slamming the door shut with a metallic bang that echoed through the street. Sky's breath hitched. "Please," she called out to everyone nearby. "They're kidnapping him, somebody help." But no one cared. A man on his phone crossed the street. A woman turned her head away. Cars passed slowly, pretending nothing was wrong. Her eyes filled with tears. She reached for her pocket, no phone. "Someone call the FBI," she screamed. "Please, call the FBI." But she knew, deep down, it would be too late before they arrived. Her dog barked again, loud and fierce, his tiny body trembling with energy. Sky crouched beside him, whispering shakily, "We can't wait, boy, we have to save him ourselves." The dog whined, then growled, "Ready." She looked at the van speeding away, wiped her tears, and took a deep breath. "Come on," she whispered, "we're going after them." And with a courage far bigger than her small frame, Sky ran into danger, her dog at her side, chasing down two kidnappers who had no idea that a little black girl had just declared war on them. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. Now, let me take you back to where it all began, the moment everything changed. Stay with us until the end of this story, because you're about to witness how a little girl's courage and bravery not only saved a billionaire's life, but also saved her own, though she didn't know it yet. Rain fell hard on the tin roof. Each drop hit like a hammer. Bang! 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 The sound filled the small room. The room smelled of wet clothes and old medicine. The kind of smell that sticks to everything. The walls. The sheets. The air. Sky sat beside her mother's bed. She watched every breath. In. Out. In. Out. Each one was slower than the last. Weaker. The doctor had said the word a month ago. Cancer. Just one word. But it changed everything. Medicine cost money. More money than they had ever seen. More money than they would ever have. Her mother coughed. It was a wet sound. Painful. She turned her head on the thin pillow. Her eyes found Sky's face. "Don't cry, baby," she whispered. Her voice was so soft. Like wind through leaves. Sky bit her lip hard. She tasted blood. "Mom, I can't just watch you hurt. You've already done enough." Her mother's hand reached out. Shaking. Cold. "Just stay by me." But Sky couldn't sit still anymore. Not one more second. She looked at the jar on the shelf above the sink. Almost empty. Just a few coins inside. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. That was all they had left in the world. The landlord had come yesterday. He stood in the doorway with his thick arms crossed. His face was hard. No kindness in it. "Rent's late again," he'd said. His voice was cold as ice. "I need it by Friday or you're out." There was no money for rent. No money for food either. Sky's stomach had been empty since breakfast. That was just half a piece of dry bread. Nothing else. Max whined at the door. Their golden dog. He always knew when things were bad. His ears lay flat against his head. His brown eyes looked sad. Dogs feel sadness. They feel it like humans do. Sky touched her mother's hand. It was so cold. Too cold. I'll get help, Mom. I promise. Her mother's eyes went wide. Full of worry. It's raining hard out there, baby. Don't go far. Please. Sky nodded. But inside, she had already decided. She would walk until her legs gave out. She would knock on every door in the city. She would beg if she had to. Someone had to care. Someone had to help. Outside, thunder cracked. Loud. Like the sky was breaking in half. The windows shook. Sky stood up slowly. She looked at her mother one last time. The woman who raised her alone after Dad died. The woman who worked 2 jobs before the sickness came. The woman who sang in the kitchen even when there was no food to cook. She was everything. She was all Sky had left. Sky pulled on her yellow raincoat. The zipper was broken halfway. It stuck. She didn't bother fixing it. No time. She looked down at Max. Stay close, boy. We're doing this for her. Max barked once. Soft but sure. Like he understood. Sky opened the door. Cold wind hit her face like a slap. Rain soaked her in seconds. Her hair. Her coat. Everything. She stepped into the storm. She had no idea that tonight would change everything. Not just for her. But for a man she had never met. A blind man. A rich man. A man who was walking alone right now in the rain. A man who had no idea that 2 men were watching him. Waiting for him. A man who was about to be taken. And Sky was about to see it all happen. 2 blocks away, a black van sat in the dark. Engine running. Headlights off. Inside, 2 men stared at a tall man with a white cane. He was walking down the wet sidewalk. Alone. Helpless. That's him, one man said. His voice was rough. Mean. Get ready, said the other. He pulled on black gloves. Cracked his knuckles. The man with the white cane had no idea what was coming. And Sky was walking straight toward it. If you're already hooked by Sky's bravery, hit that subscribe button right now. And drop a comment telling me, would you have followed that van? Be honest. Most people say yes, but we both know the truth. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. The streets were cold. Water everywhere. Sky's shoes filled with each step. Her socks were soaked through. Cold water squeezed between her toes. She clutched her little purse tight against her chest. Inside were 3 coins. Just 3. And 1 old key to their apartment. That was everything she owned in the world. She ran past the bakery on 5th Street. The one where she and her mother used to buy bread every Sunday morning. Back when Mom could still walk. Back when she had strength. The smell hit Sky hard. Fresh bread. Warm. Sweet. Her stomach twisted and growled loud. She pressed a hand against it. She hadn't eaten since this morning. 1 piece of dry toast. Nothing else. But she couldn't stop now. Not for food. Not for anything. Her mother's voice played in her head like a song. Be careful, baby. The world isn't always kind. The store near the park stayed open late. Everyone knew that. Mr. Henson owned it. He was kind once. Last winter, when Mom couldn't pay for milk, he let them take it anyway. Pay me when you can, he'd said with a smile. Maybe he would help again. Maybe he'd give her some pain medicine for Mom. Something. Anything. She'd pay him back later. She'd find a way. Work. Clean. Whatever it took. Rain poured harder now. It soaked through her broken hood. Water dripped down her neck. Down her back. Cold as ice. Lightning flashed across the sky. For 1 second, everything lit up bright as day. She saw her reflection in a shop window. A small girl. Wet hair stuck to her face. Eyes red from crying. But something else was there too. Something in her eyes. Something that wouldn't quit. She whispered to herself, "Don't stop. She needs you." Max barked suddenly. Sharp. Loud. His ears shot straight up. His body went stiff as a board. He'd heard something. Skye looked up fast. A black van rolled slowly past the park gate. Its headlights were dim. Almost off. It moved like a shadow. Quiet. Creeping through the rain. Something about it felt wrong. Very wrong. The hair on the back of Skye's neck stood up. Max pulled at the leash. Hard. He wanted to go the other way. His instincts told him danger was close. But Skye shook her head. "Come on, Max. We'll take the shortcut through the park. It's faster." She pushed through the iron gate. It creaked loud. The sound cut through the rain. Thunder rumbled again. Closer this time. So close she felt it in her chest. The black van turned at the corner. Slow. Steady. Like it was hunting something. Skye didn't see it turn. She was already running through the park. Past the empty swings. Past the slide where she used to play when she was younger. When life was simpler. Her feet splashed through puddles. Water sprayed everywhere. Max ran beside her. His golden fur was soaked black now. But he didn't slow down. Up ahead, past the trees, the tall man with the white cane stepped out of a glass building. The rain hit his face. He didn't mind. He smiled. That was Mr. Leonard Vale. Blind since birth. But one of the richest men in the city. Maybe the richest. He'd donated millions. Built hospitals. Opened schools. Gave to families who had nothing. But tonight, he walked alone. His driver had the night off. His bodyguard too. He'd insisted. "I need to feel normal sometimes," he told them. He liked the rain. It helped him hear the world. The sound of drops hitting different surfaces. Metal. Concrete. Glass. Wood. Each one sounded different. His cane tapped on the pavement. Tap. 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 A steady rhythm. Like a heartbeat. He was on his way home. Just 6 more blocks. His wife was waiting. She always waited with soup and a smile. Every single night. He didn't know she was already worried. Already staring out the window. Already calling his phone. Ring. 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 No answer. She left another voicemail. "Leonard, where are you? Call me. Please." But his phone was on silent in his pocket. He never heard it. Inside the black van, 2 men watched him through the rain-streaked windshield. One man was big. Muscles like steel. Tattoos on his neck. A scar across his cheek. The other was smaller. Thin. Mean eyes. He smiled when he saw Mr. Vale walking. "Target's moving," the thin one said into his phone. His voice was cold. "Empty. Let's get him before he reaches the main road." On the other end of that call was someone else. Someone Mr. Vale trusted. Someone he called friend. Victor Hale. His business partner for 20 years. The man who stood beside him at every charity event. Every board meeting. Every celebration. But Victor wanted more. He wanted everything. The company. The money. The power. And tonight, he would take it. Do it, Victor said into the phone. Then he hung up. The big man in the van cracked his knuckles. Ready. At the same time, Sky crossed the park's exit. The gate squeaked behind her. She was now only 1 block away from where the van waited. She didn't know. Couldn't know. Mr. Vale adjusted his coat collar. The wind was getting stronger. Colder. He pulled his collar up around his neck. He paused at the curb. Listened. He heard traffic. Cars passing in the distance. Rain hitting metal awnings. The hiss of tires on wet streets. He smiled faint. Home is close, he whispered to himself. Just 6 more blocks. But he would never make it. Inside the van, the driver's hand gripped the door handle. His heart was racing. He'd never done anything like this before. But the money was too good. $50,000 just for one night's work. Now, the thin man hissed. The van doors flew open. Both sides at once. 2 shadows jumped out. Boots hit the wet ground hard. Splashing. They moved fast. So fast. Mr. Vale sensed motion. Something rushing toward him. Close. Too close. He turned his head. Who's there? But it was too late. A hand clamped over his mouth. Rough. Strong. It smelled like cigarettes and sweat. Another hand grabbed his arm. Twisted it behind his back. Pain exploded in his shoulder. What is this? Let me go, he tried to shout. But the hand pressed harder. Muffled every word. His white cane fell from his grip. It clattered on the sidewalk. Rolled into a puddle. The sound echoed. He struggled. Kicked out with his legs. His foot connected with something. Someone grunted in pain. But they were stronger. Much stronger. They dragged him toward the van. His shoes scraped against the concrete. He tried to yell again. Tried to break free. Nothing worked. Across the street, hidden by rain and darkness and shadows, Sky stood frozen. Her purse slipped from her hand. Hit the ground. The coins spilled out. Bounced. Rolled into the gutter. Gone forever. But she didn't notice. Didn't care. Her eyes were locked on what was happening across the street. Stop, she screamed. As loud as she could. Stop. But her voice vanished into the storm. The wind swallowed it whole. The rain drowned it out. She looked around fast. Wild. Desperate. People hurried past with umbrellas over their heads. A woman in a business suit. A man checking his phone. An old couple rushing to their car. Help. Sky yelled at them. They're taking him. Help. The woman glanced at her. Then looked away. Kept walking. Faster now. The man didn't even slow down. Just kept staring at his phone screen. The old couple got in their car. Slammed the doors. Drove away. Nobody stopped. Nobody looked. Nobody cared. It was like they didn't see. Or maybe they saw and just didn't want to get involved. Sky's heart pounded so hard it hurt. Like it would break through her ribs. She ran to the curb. Her feet hit puddles. Water splashed everywhere. She saw the silver cane lying on the ground. Shining under the streetlight. Wet. Alone. Abandoned. She picked it up with both hands. It was heavier than she expected. Cold. Metal. Max barked wildly beside her. His bark was sharp. Angry. He pulled on the leash so hard Sky almost fell forward. The van's engine roared to life. Loud. Angry. The red taillights glowed bright in the mist. Then they started moving. Getting smaller. Sky clutched the cane against her chest. Her hands were shaking. Her whole body was shaking. "I saw it happen," she whispered. Her voice cracked. Broke. Nobody helped him. Tears mixed with rain on her face. She couldn't tell which was which anymore. She looked down the road again. The taillights were fading. Getting dimmer. Almost gone. Her mother's face flashed in her mind. Lying in that bed. Helpless. Alone. Sick. Dying. If that were Mom, I'd want someone to help her. Sky took a deep breath. Her chest filled with air. With something else too. Courage. Or maybe just fear turned inside out. "Then I will," she said out loud. But she was just a little girl. 10 years old. In a storm. With a dog and a stranger's cane. What could she possibly do? The van was already gone. Disappeared into the darkness. But Sky started running anyway. Straight into the unknown. The rain grew heavier. Each drop felt like a hammer. The streets got emptier with every block. Sky ran past closed shops. Dark houses. Broken streetlights. Her shoes slapped against wet pavement. Each step hurt worse than the last. Her lungs burned. Her legs screamed. But she didn't stop. The van's tire tracks curved toward the docks. She could smell it now. The river. Fish. Oil. Rust. That thick smell that stuck in your throat. Max stayed right beside her. His golden fur was completely black from rain. His paws splashed through puddles. He barked every few seconds. Warning her. Encouraging her. She didn't know which. At a corner she saw something ahead. Red lights. Faint. Getting brighter. The van. It was stopping at a red signal light. Sky's heart jumped. She pushed harder. Her feet flew over the wet ground. She was getting closer. 30 feet. 20 feet. Close enough to see the license plate now. She reached into her pocket. Her fingers found her phone. The small cracked phone that barely worked. Her hands were shaking so bad she almost dropped it. She pulled it out. Water dripped on the screen. She wiped it with her wet sleeve. Didn't help much. She held it up. Pointed it at the van. Her finger found the camera button. Click. The flash went off. Bright white light exploded in the darkness. No. Sky gasped. Stupid phone. She looked at the screen. The photo was there. Blurry. Rain spotted. But she could see the plate. Every letter. Every number. She looked up at the van. Had they seen the flash? Did they notice? The light turned green. The van's engine roared loud. It pulled away fast. Tires squealed on wet asphalt. Black smoke puffed from the exhaust. They were running. They knew someone was following. Or maybe they were just in a hurry. Sky couldn't tell. She kept running anyway. Following the red lights. They were getting farther away now. Faster than she could run. Her legs were giving out. Each step was harder. Her breath came in gasps. Short. Painful. Max barked loud. He pulled on the leash. Like he was trying to pull her faster. "I'm trying, boy," she whispered. "I'm trying." The van turned down a narrow road. The sign said River Road. She'd never been here before. Never even heard of it. This wasn't her part of the city. This was somewhere else. Somewhere forgotten. She turned onto the same road. The pavement was broken. Huge potholes filled with water. Trash everywhere. Old newspapers. Bottles. Broken furniture. Buildings on both sides were abandoned. Windows smashed. Doors hanging off hinges. Graffiti covered every wall. Nobody lived here. Nobody came here. Not good people anyway. Sky's stomach twisted. Fear crawled up her spine like spiders. She wanted to stop. Wanted to turn around. Run back to streets with lights. With people. With safety. But she kept going. One foot in front of the other. The van's lights disappeared around another corner. She ran faster. Ignored the pain. Ignored the fear. She rounded the corner and almost fell. Her foot caught in a pothole. Water splashed up to her waist. She stumbled forward. Max grabbed her coat with his teeth. Pulled her sideways. Kept her from falling. "Thanks, boy." She looked up. The van was just ahead. Maybe 50 feet. It was slowing down again. There was a gate. Tall. Metal. Rusted. Topped with barbed wire. The gate was opening. Slow. Creaking. The sound cut through the rain. The van pulled through. Its brake lights glowed bright red. Then dimmed. Sky ran. Faster than her legs wanted to go. Her lungs were on fire. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. She had to reach that gate before it closed. Had to. 20 feet. 10 feet. 5 feet. The gate was closing. Metal grinding against metal. She reached out. Her hand touched the cold bars. The gate clanged shut. Right in her face. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Locked. She pressed her face against the bars. Looked through. Her breath came in gasps. Fog on the metal. Inside was a big open area. Cracked concrete. Weeds growing through cracks. Puddles everywhere. And beyond that, a warehouse. Huge. Old. Dark. Most of the windows were broken. The roof sagged in places. Rust covered every surface. The van stopped near the entrance. The engine shut off. Silence except for rain. The doors opened. 2 men jumped out. Big. Mean-looking even from here. They went to the back. Opened those doors too. They dragged someone out. Someone who struggled. Fought. Kicked. Mr. Vale. Even in the darkness Sky could see him trying to break free. His hands were tied behind his back. They grabbed his arms. One on each side. "Let me go." His voice carried across the space. Strong. Angry. Scared. They dragged him toward the warehouse door. His feet scraped on the ground. He tried to pull away. Couldn't. One man laughed. The sound was cold. Empty. They reached the door. One man opened it. Light spilled out. Yellow. Dim. They shoved Mr. Vale inside. He stumbled. Fell. They pulled him back up. Pushed him deeper into the building. The door slammed shut. Heavy. Final. The sound echoed. Then silence again. Just rain. Sky stood there, her hands gripping the cold bars. Water dripped from her hair, from her nose, from her chin. She'd found them. She knew where they were. She had the license plate photo. But now what? She looked at her phone. The battery icon showed 5%. Maybe less. The screen flickered. She needed to call the police. Tell them where to come. Show them the photo. But if she left now, if she ran to find help, what if they moved him? What if they hurt him? What if they killed him before help arrived? Max whined. He pressed against her leg. Warm. Loyal. Scared too maybe. She looked at the warehouse. The broken windows. The rusted walls. The one dim light. Then she noticed something. A side door. Smaller. Half hidden behind an old dumpster. It was open. Just a crack. Her heart raced. An entrance. A way in. But that was crazy. She couldn't go in there. She was just a kid. Those were dangerous men. Criminals. Kidnappers. They would hurt her. Catch her. Kill her maybe. She should run. Find the police. Get help. Do this the smart way. The safe way. But her father's voice came back. Clear as day. The right thing and the easy thing are never the same. She looked at Max. What do you think, boy? Max stared at the warehouse. Growled low. His ears flat. He didn't like it. Didn't want to go in. But he would. Because she would. Sky took a deep breath. Her hands were shaking. Her whole body was shaking. She looked at her phone one more time. 5% battery. Maybe 10 minutes left. She opened the camera. Started recording video. Her finger hit the red button. The red dot appeared on screen. My name is Sky Carter, she whispered into the phone. Her voice shook. I'm at the old warehouse on River Road. Near the docks. I followed a black van here. License plate. She looked at the photo. Read the numbers. They took a blind man. Mr. Leonard Vale. The billionaire. I saw it happen. She took a breath. If something happens to me, if I don't make it out, please tell my mom I love her. Tell her I was brave. Like Dad. Her voice broke. She swallowed hard. I'm going in now. To help him. Because nobody else did. She stopped recording. Sent the video to her mom's email. The one she never checked. But at least it would be there. Somewhere. Proof of what happened. The phone buzzed. Message sent. Then the screen went black. Battery dead. Perfect timing. She put the phone back in her pocket. Looked at the warehouse again. At that half-open side door. This was insane. Completely insane. She knew that. But she also knew one thing. If she walked away now, that man would die. And she would never forgive herself. She looked at the gate. Solid metal. Locked. No way through. But on the side, near the fence post, the chain-link fence had a hole. Small. Barely visible. Where someone had cut through years ago maybe. Just big enough for a small girl and a dog. Sky dropped to her knees. Started crawling through. The sharp wires caught her coat. Scratched her arms. She pushed through. Ignored the pain. Max followed. His fur caught on the wire. He whimpered but kept coming. They made it through. On the other side now. Inside the compound. Sky stood up. Water dripped from her clothes. She held the silver cane tight in one hand, Max's leash in the other. She looked at the warehouse. At that side door. At the darkness beyond it. Her heart pounded. Her hands shook. Her breath came fast. She took one step forward. Then another. Toward the warehouse. Toward danger. Toward the unknown. Inside, she could hear voices. Muffled. Angry. Then she heard something else. Something that made her blood run cold. A scream. Mr. Vale's scream. And then silence. Okay, if your heart is racing right now, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Comment below, save him SKYE, if you want her to go inside that warehouse. I need to know you're with me on this journey. Subscribe because chapter 8 is going to blow your mind. The place looked dead. Like something from a nightmare. Broken windows everywhere. Jagged glass teeth sticking out. Rusted doors hanging sideways. Shadows that seemed to move on their own. Sky crouched behind a pile of old barrels. They smelled terrible. Oil. Chemicals. Rot. She covered her nose with her wet sleeve. Through a crack between the barrels she could see inside the warehouse. The black van was parked near the back. One dim light bulb hung from the ceiling. It swung back and forth, making shadows dance on the walls. She heard voices. Men talking. Laughing. The sounds echoed off the metal walls. Made everything sound bigger. Scarier. She pulled out her dead phone. Useless now. Just a black screen. A brick. She shoved it back in her pocket. Then she remembered. The camera. She'd stopped recording before the battery died. But maybe it saved. Maybe there was something there. No. The phone was completely dead. Black. Nothing. Her only evidence was the photo of the license plate. And that was trapped in a dead phone. Great. Max pressed against her leg. He was shaking. From cold or fear, she couldn't tell. Maybe both. She put her hand on his wet head. It's okay, boy. We're okay. But they weren't okay. Not even close. Through the crack she saw movement. One man laughed. Harsh. Mean. The sound made her skin crawl. Sign the papers, old man. Then you can go home. That voice. Cold. Empty. Like a snake would sound if snakes could talk. Then another voice. Shaking but steady. Strong even though scared. Mr. Vale. You can steal my name. But you can't steal my heart. Sky's chest tightened. He was still fighting. Still brave. Even tied up. Even helpless. A loud slap echoed. Skin hitting skin. The sound made Sky jump. Do it now. Another man. Angrier. Meaner. She heard Mr. Vale grunt. Pain. But he didn't cry out. Didn't beg. Sky's hands were freezing. She couldn't feel her fingers anymore. But she had to do something. Had to get proof. Had to help somehow. She looked around. What could she use? Then she saw it. An old brick. Half buried in mud. She pulled it free. Heavy. Solid. She could throw it. Break a window. Make noise. Distract them. Then what? Run in and save him. She was 10 years old. They were grown men. With weapons probably. No. She needed a better plan. She looked through the crack again. Studied the inside. The layout. The van was on the left. A table in the middle. Mr. Vale was tied to a chair near the table. Two men stood around him. Maybe more she couldn't see. On the right side, near the back, were stacks of old crates. Boxes. Junk. Places to hide. And that side door she'd seen from outside. It led to the back area. Near those crates. If she could get inside. Stay hidden. Get close enough to see. To hear. To record somehow. But her phone was dead. She looked down at Max. He stared back at her. Those brown eyes. Trusting. Loyal. Stay here, boy, she whispered. Stay quiet. Max whined soft. He didn't want her to go. She could tell. I have to, she said. That man needs help. Just like Mom needs help. I can't walk away. She kissed his wet head. Then she moved. Slow. Careful. She slipped around the barrels. Stayed low. The rain helped. It covered sound. Made everything harder to see. She reached the side door. The one that was half open. She pressed against the wall. Listened. Voices inside. Still talking. Still threatening. Then she heard something else. A phone ringing. Inside the warehouse. Someone answered. Yes, Victor, one man said. His voice changed. Softer. Respectful. Like talking to a boss. Victor. That name again. We have him, the man continued. But he won't sign. What do you want us to do? Silence. The man was listening. Sky held her breath. Tried to hear the other side. Couldn't. Understood, the man said. Then he laughed. Not a happy laugh. A dark laugh. Evil. He hung up. Turned to the other man. Victor says if he doesn't sign by midnight, make him disappear. The other man smiled. Sky couldn't see it but she heard it in his voice. My pleasure. Her blood went cold. They were going to kill him. She looked at her wrist. No watch. She had no idea what time it was. 10. 11. How long until midnight? She had to do something. Fast. She slipped through the side door. Into the warehouse. Her heart pounded so loud she thought everyone would hear it. The inside was huge. Dark except for that one light bulb. Metal beams everywhere. Stairs leading up to a second level. Catwalks. More shadows than light. She stayed close to the wall. Moved toward the crates. Each step careful. Quiet. Her wet shoes squeaked. She froze. Held her breath. Nobody turned. Nobody heard. The rain on the metal roof covered the sound. She reached the crates. Ducked behind them. Safe. For now. She peeked around the edge. She could see them clearly now. Two men. Both big. One had tattoos covering his arms. The other had a scar across his face. And Mr. Vale. Tied to a metal chair. His white cane was on the floor beside him. Out of reach. Useless. His face was bruised. Blood on his lip. But his eyes were steady. Looking at nothing because he couldn't see. But steady anyway. Last chance, old man, the tattooed man said. He held up papers. Sign this and we let you go. That's a lie, Mr. Vale said. His voice was calm. Too calm. You'll kill me either way. The scarred man laughed. Smart blind man. Then why would I sign? Mr. Vale asked. Because if you do, we'll make it quick. Painless. If you don't. The tattooed man picked up a metal pipe from the table. We'll make it hurt. Sky's hands shook. She looked around desperate. What could she do? She saw something. An old fire extinguisher hanging on the wall. Red. Rusty. But maybe it still worked. An idea formed. Crazy. Dangerous. Probably stupid. But it was all she had. She looked back at the men. They were both focused on Mr. Vale. Backs turned to her. This was her chance. Maybe her only chance. She moved. Slow. Careful. Toward the fire extinguisher. Each step felt like an hour. Each breath too loud. Each heartbeat like thunder. She reached it. Her fingers touched the cold metal. She lifted it off the hook. Heavy. So heavy. She almost dropped it. But she held on. Gripped it with both hands. Now what? She looked at Mr. Vale. At the men. At the door. If she pulled the trigger, white foam would spray everywhere. The men would be blinded. Temporarily. Maybe. She could create chaos. Confusion. Give Mr. Vale time to run. Give herself time to get him free. Or she could get them both killed. Thunder cracked outside. Loud. The building shook. The lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then went out. Darkness. Complete darkness. The men cursed. What happened? The storm knocked out the power. Find the flashlights. Now. Footsteps. Moving in the dark. Stumbling. This was it. This was her moment. Sky moved fast. Felt her way through the darkness. Toward Mr. Vale. She bumped into something. A table maybe. It scraped loud. What was that? One man shouted. Someone's here. A flashlight clicked on. The beam swept across the warehouse. Back and forth. Searching. Sky dropped to the floor. Flat. The beam passed over her head. Missed her by inches. She crawled. Fast. Toward where she thought Mr. Vale was. Her hand touched something. A leg. She froze. Who's there? Mr. Vale whispered. It's me, she whispered back. The girl. From the street. I saw what happened. I'm here to help. You followed us? His voice was shocked. Amazed. Terrified. Yes. You're just a child. I know. The flashlight beam swung their way. Getting closer. Sky's fingers found the ropes around his wrists. She pulled. Tugged. They were tight. So tight. She needed something sharp. A knife. Something. She felt around. Her hand found his cane. The silver cane. She grabbed it. The bottom was pointed. Sharp. Metal. She jammed it into the rope. Twisted. Started sawing. The flashlight beam was almost on them. I found something, one man shouted. Over here. Footsteps running. Getting closer. The rope was half cut. Almost. Almost. Hurry, Mr. Vale whispered. Urgent. She sawed harder. Faster. The rope frayed. Started to break. The flashlight beam hit them. Bright. Blinding. Hey, the tattooed man shouted. What are you doing? The rope snapped. Mr. Vale's hands were free. Run. Sky yelled. But before they could move, strong hands grabbed her from behind. She screamed. Strong hands grabbed Sky from behind. She screamed. Loud. High. Terrified. The hands lifted her off the ground. Her feet kicked air. The silver cane fell from her grip. Clattered on the concrete. Got her, the scarred man shouted. He held her tight. His arms like steel bars. It's just a kid. The tattooed man swung his flashlight toward them. The beam hit her face. Blinding white light. She squeezed her eyes shut. A kid? His voice was confused. Angry. What's a kid doing here? I don't know. But she cut him loose. Mr. Vale stood up. His hands were free but his legs were shaky. He'd been sitting for hours. Blood rushed back. Painful. Let her go, he shouted. His voice strong despite everything. She's just a child. Shut up, old man. The tattooed man pulled out something from his belt. A gun. Black. Shiny. He pointed it at Mr. Vale. Sit back down or I shoot. Mr. Vale froze. He couldn't see the gun. But he knew the sound. That click. The safety coming off. He sat back down. Slow. Careful. The scarred man held Sky tight. She couldn't move. Could barely breathe. His grip crushed her ribs. What do we do with her? The scarred man asked. Same thing we're doing with him. Can't let her leave. She's seen too much. Sky's heart stopped. They were going to kill her. Kill both of them. She thought of her mother. Lying in that bed. Waiting. She would wait forever. Sky would never come home. Please, Sky whispered. Her voice shook. My mom's sick. She needs me. Please let me go. The tattooed man laughed. Cold. Mean. Should have thought of that before you followed us, kid. He turned to his partner. Tie her up. Put her with the old man. We'll deal with both of them at midnight. The scarred man started dragging her toward another chair. She fought. Kicked. Twisted. Her heel connected with his shin. Ow. Little brat. His grip loosened. Just for a second. That's when she heard it. A sound from outside. Familiar. Barking. Max. The side door burst open. A golden blur shot through. Fast. Fierce. Max leaped at the scarred man. Teeth flashing white in the flashlight beam. He bit down on the man's arm. The one holding Sky. Bit hard. The man screamed. Let go of Sky. She fell. Hit the ground hard. Pain shot through her shoulder. Get it off. Get it off me. The scarred man swung his arm. Max held on. Growling. Snarling. The tattooed man turned. Pointed his gun at Max. No. Sky screamed. She scrambled to her feet. Looked around wild. Desperate. Her eyes landed on the fire extinguisher. Still there. Against the wall. She ran. Grabbed it. Lifted it with both hands. Heavy. So heavy. The tattooed man's finger moved toward the trigger. Aimed at Max. Sky swung the extinguisher. Used every ounce of strength she had. It hit his arm. Hard. The gun flew from his hand. Skidded across the floor. Disappeared into shadows. You little, he turned toward her. Rage in his eyes. Sky pulled the trigger on the extinguisher. White foam exploded out. Sprayed everywhere. Covered his face. His eyes. His mouth. He screamed. Stumbled backward. Clawing at his face. Trying to see. Trying to breathe. Run! Skye yelled at Mr. Vale. Run now! She grabbed his hand. Pulled him to his feet. He stumbled. Disoriented. Blind in a dark warehouse. This way. She pulled him toward the side door. The one still open. Their escape. Behind them, the scarred man finally threw Max off. The dog hit the wall. Yelped. But got right back up. Still fighting. Max! Come on! Skye yelled. Max ran toward her. Limping but moving. They reached the door. Burst through. Cold rain hit their faces. Fresh air filled their lungs. Keep going. Skye pulled Mr. Vale across the compound. Toward the hole in the fence. The way she came in. Thunder crashed. Lightning lit up the sky. For 1 second everything was bright as day. She saw the hole. 20 feet away. 15. 10. Behind them, the warehouse door slammed open. Stop them. Voices shouting. Angry. Getting closer. They reached the fence. Get down. Skye pushed Mr. Vale toward the hole. Crawl through. He dropped to his knees. Felt the opening with his hands. Started crawling. Fast as he could. The sharp wire caught his clothes. Scratched his skin. He pushed through. Ignored the pain. Max went next. His fur caught. He whimpered but kept going. Skye looked back. The two men were running toward them. Close. So close. She dropped to her knees. Started crawling through. A hand grabbed her ankle. Pulled. Hard. She screamed. Kicked back with her other foot. Connected with something. A face maybe. The man cursed. Let go. She scrambled through. The wire cut her arms. Her legs. She felt blood. Warm. Wet. But she was through. On the other side. Go. Go. Go, she shouted. Mr. Vale was already up. Running. Or trying to. He was blind. In the dark. In the rain. He stumbled. Fell. Got back up. Skye grabbed his arm. I got you. She pulled him along. Max ran beside them. Barking. Warning. Protecting. Behind them, the men were trying to get through the fence. Too big. Too slow. The gate, one shouted. Go around. But that would take time. Precious seconds. Skye pulled Mr. Vale down the street. Away from the warehouse. Away from the river. Toward the main road. Her lungs burned. Her legs screamed. But she didn't stop. Where are we going? Mr. Vale gasped. Anywhere but here. They ran through the rain. Past abandoned buildings. Past broken streetlights. Past piles of trash. Behind them, they heard an engine start. The van. The black van. Headlights appeared. Bright. Searching. They're coming. Mr. Vale said. I know. Skye looked around wild. They needed somewhere to hide. Somewhere safe. An alley. Dark. Narrow. She pulled him into it. They pressed against the wall. Behind a dumpster. Breathing hard. Trying to be quiet. The van drove past. Slow. Headlights sweeping the street. Searching. Sky held her breath. Max stayed perfectly still. Mr. Vale didn't move. The van kept going. The sound of the engine faded. Getting quieter. Farther away. They waited. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 5. Silence except for rain. Are they gone? Mr. Vale whispered. I think so. Sky's whole body was shaking. From cold. From fear. From adrenaline crashing. She'd done it. They'd escaped. They were alive. But they weren't safe yet. Not even close. They were soaking wet. Bleeding. Lost in a bad part of the city. With no phone. No money. No help. And those men were still out there. Still looking. Still hunting. We need to find the police, Mr. Vale said. I know. But where? She looked down the alley. Both directions looked the same. Dark. Empty. Scary. Then she heard something. A sound that made her heart jump. Sirens. Faint. Far away. But getting closer. Blue lights flashing in the distance. Through the rain. Through the darkness. Police. Someone had called them. But who? How? Unless her video message had sent. Before her phone died. Maybe someone saw it. Maybe someone came. Do you hear that? Mr. Vale asked. Yes. It's the police. We need to get to them. Signal them somehow. Sky looked around. What could they use? How could they get their attention? Then she saw it. A street sign. Reflective. Metal. She ran to it. Started banging on it with the silver cane. The one she'd never let go of. Even through everything. Bang. 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 The sound echoed through the empty streets. The sirens got louder. Closer. She kept banging. Over here. Help. We're over here. The blue lights turned the corner. Bright. Beautiful. Flashing. 3 police cars. Then 4. They came fast. Tires squealing on wet streets. One pulled up beside the alley. The door opened. An officer jumped out. Are you okay? He shouted. Rain dripped from his hat. We need help. Sky yelled back. Her voice hoarse. Breaking. They took him. The warehouse. 2 men. They tried to kill us. More officers got out. One ran to them. Looked at Mr. Vale. His eyes went wide. Is that Mr. Vale? Leonard Vale? Yes, Mr. Vale said. He was shaking. Pale. But alive. We got a report. A video message. From a girl named Sky. Sky's heart jumped. That's me. I sent it. Did you get them? The men. Units are heading to the warehouse now. Are you hurt? Sky looked down at herself. Blood on her arms. Her legs. Scratches everywhere. Her clothes torn. I'm okay, she said. But she wasn't. She was exhausted. Terrified. Running on nothing but adrenaline. More police cars arrived. Ambulances too. Red and white lights joining the blue. Paramedics rushed over. Started checking them. Wrapping blankets around their shoulders. Asking questions. Everything was a blur. Voices. Lights. Movement. Sky sat on the back of an ambulance. Someone was cleaning her cuts. She barely felt it. She looked at Mr. Vale. He was in another ambulance. Safe. Alive. Because of her. She'd done it. A little girl with a dog. Against grown men with guns. The impossible. But then it hit her. Like a punch to the gut. Mom. She'd been gone for hours. The whole night. Since the rain started. Since everything began. Mom was home alone. Sick. Weak. Maybe worse. What if she woke up and Sky wasn't there? What if she needed help? What if she tried to get up and fell? What if she died alone while Sky was out here playing hero? I need to go home, Sky said suddenly. Her voice sharp. Urgent. My mom. She's sick. She needs me. I need to go home right now. The paramedic looked at her. Concerned. Honey, you're hurt. We should. No. Sky stood up. The blanket fell off. You don't understand. My mom has cancer. She's alone. I've been gone too long. Please. I need to go home. Tears streamed down her face. All the fear. All the stress. All the worry finally breaking through. An officer came over. The one who'd found them. It's okay. I'll take you. What's your address? Sky told him. Her voice shaking. He nodded. Let's go. Right now. She climbed into the police car. Max jumped in beside her. The officer started the engine. Turned on the lights. They drove fast through the empty streets. The siren wailed. The lights flashed. But it felt too slow. Every second was torture. Every block took forever. Please be okay, Mom. Please. They turned onto her street. The familiar buildings. The broken streetlights. The cracked sidewalks. Almost there. Almost home. The car stopped in front of her building. Sky jumped out before it fully stopped. She ran. Up the steps. 2 at a time. Max right behind her. She reached their door. It was open. Just a crack. Her heart stopped. That was wrong. So wrong. Mom never left it open. Mom, she called. Her voice small. Scared. No answer. She pushed the door open. Stepped inside. The apartment was dark. Silent. It smelled wrong. Like sickness. Like fear. Mom. Louder now. Still no answer. She ran to the bedroom. The door was open. Her mother lay on the bed. Not moving. Pale as paper. Eyes closed. The pill bottle was on the floor. Empty. Knocked over. Mom. Wake up. Sky screamed. She shook her mother's shoulder. Gentle at first. Then harder. Nothing. No response. No movement. Was she breathing? Listen, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This girl just fought grown men with guns and now her mother might be dying. Comment, praying for MOM, if you want her to survive. Hit subscribe because you need to see what happens next. Trust me. Sky pressed her ear to her mother's chest. Listening. Praying. Begging God or anyone who would listen. There. Faint. So faint she almost missed it. A heartbeat. Slow. Weak. Irregular. But there. She was alive. Barely. Hanging on by a thread. But for how long? Help. Sky screamed toward the door. Toward the officer outside. Toward anyone. Help. She's not waking up. Please help. Footsteps. Running. The officer burst through the door. He saw the scene. His face changed. From calm to urgent in 1 second. He grabbed his radio. This is Unit 47. I need an ambulance at 2847, Martin Street, Apartment 3B. Unresponsive female. Possible overdose. EMS needed immediately. The radio crackled. Copy that. Ambulance is 4 minutes out. 4 minutes. That could be forever. That could be too late. The officer knelt beside the bed. Checked her pulse. Her breathing. His face was serious. Focused. How long has she been like this? He asked. I don't know. Sky's voice broke. I've been gone since tonight. Since the rain started. I don't know. That was hours ago. Maybe 5 hours. Maybe 6. Too long. Way too long. The officer looked at the empty pill bottle. What was in here? Pain medicine. For her cancer. I don't know how many. He nodded. Kept checking her. Monitoring her. Max whined. He jumped up on the bed. Licked her mother's hand. Like he was trying to wake her too. Sky grabbed her mother's cold hand. Held it tight. Don't leave me, Mom. Please. I just saved someone tonight. I was brave like you said. Like Dad said. You have to stay. You have to see. Please. Her words tumbled out. Fast. Desperate. Broken. I'm sorry I left. I'm sorry I wasn't here. But I had to help him. I had to. You would have wanted me to. Right? You would have wanted me to do the right thing. She pressed her mother's hand to her cheek. It was so cold. Like ice. Please wake up. Please. I can't lose you. Not like Dad. Not you too. Sirens again. But different this time. Ambulance sirens. Coming closer. Getting louder. The officer went to the door. Waved them up. Paramedics rushed in. Bags. Equipment. 2 of them. Moving fast. They pushed Sky gently aside. Honey, we need space. Let us work. But she didn't want to let go. Didn't want to leave her mother's side. The officer put a hand on her shoulder. Let them help her. They're good at this. She stepped back. Watched. Her hands shaking. Her whole body shaking. The paramedics worked fast. Checking vitals. Putting in N4. Oxygen mask. Asking each other questions in medical words Sky didn't understand. BP is 80/50. Heart rate 45. Respirations shallow. Pupils responsive but delayed. Possible overdose. We need to move her now. They lifted her onto a stretcher. Strapped her in. Started wheeling her toward the door. Wait. Sky ran after them. Where are you taking her? City Hospital. Are you family? I'm her daughter. I'm all she has. The paramedic nodded. You can ride with us. Come on. Sky and Max followed them down the stairs. Into the ambulance. The doors closed. The siren started. They drove fast through the night. The rain had stopped now. The sky was clearing. Stars appeared between clouds. But Sky didn't notice. Her eyes were locked on her mother's face. On that oxygen mask. On the machines beeping. On the floor drip. Please work. Please save her. Please. One paramedic kept checking the monitors. Adjusting things. His face was serious but calm. Professional. Is she going to be okay? Sky asked. Her voice barely a whisper. He looked at her. Kind eyes. Honest eyes. We're doing everything we can. That wasn't an answer. That was hope without promise. That was maybe without yes. The ambulance turned sharp. Sky grabbed the rail. They were at the hospital now. She could see the lights. The emergency entrance. The doors flew open. This way. Quickly. 2 paramedics jumped out. Started pulling the stretcher. The wheels dropped down. Locked. They pushed toward the entrance. Sky jumped out after them. Her feet hit wet pavement. Max followed. His hurt leg made him slow, but he kept up. Move, one paramedic shouted. They ran through the automatic doors. Into the bright hospital. Everything white. Clean. Smelling like chemicals and fear. Sky ran behind them. Her wet shoes squeaked on the shiny floor. Water dripped from her clothes. Left a trail. At the entrance, a security guard stepped in front of her. Big man. Thick arms. His hand went up. Family only past this point. I am family. Sky cried. Her voice cracked. Desperate. That's my mom. I'm her daughter. How old are you? 10. I'm 10. She's all I have. Please. The guard looked at her. Really looked. Saw the cuts on her arms. The blood. The torn clothes. The terror in her eyes. He hesitated. She stays, a voice said. Strong. Firm. Mr. Vale's voice. Sky turned. He was there. Behind her. Still in the hospital. Had he followed? Stayed? He walked forward. His white cane tapping. His other hand reaching out. Finding Sky's shoulder. This girl saved my life tonight, he said. His voice calm but powerful. She risked everything. If she says that's her mother, then she goes with her mother. No questions. The guard looked at Mr. Vale. Recognition spread across his face. Mr. Vale. Sir, I didn't know. Now you know. Let her through. The guard stepped aside. Yes, sir. Go ahead, kid. Thank you, Sky whispered to Mr. Vale. Then she ran. Following the stretcher. Down the hallway. Through doors. Past nurses. Past doctors. Past other patients waiting. They pushed through double doors marked ICU. Intensive care unit. Where the sickest people went. Where life and death fought every day. Inside, doctors surrounded her mother. White coats everywhere. Moving fast. Talking in words Sky didn't understand. BP dropping. Start fluids. Pulse is weak. Get me the crash cart. Possible overdose. How much was in the bottle? A nurse turned to Sky. Honey, how many pills were in that bottle? I don't know. Sky's voice shook. Maybe 20. Maybe more. I don't know. The nurse nodded. Turned back to the team. Possible 20 tablets of hydrocodone. We need to pump her stomach. On it. They worked fast. Tubes. Machines. Needles. Sky stood by the wall. Trying to stay small. Trying not to be in the way. But she couldn't look away. Couldn't close her eyes. This was her mother. The woman who raised her. Loved her. Sacrificed everything for her. A doctor tried to push her out. You need to wait outside. No. Sky grabbed the doorframe. I'm not leaving her. Honey, we need space. She needs me. Sky's voice broke. Tears streamed down her face. She woke up alone tonight. I wasn't there. I left her. I can't leave her again. Please. The doctor looked at her. Saw something in her eyes. Determination. Love. Desperation. He sighed. Fine. But stay against that wall. Don't move. Don't touch anything. Sky nodded. Pressed her back against the cold wall. Max sat beside her feet. Both of them watching. Waiting. Praying. Minutes passed. Long, slow. Each one felt like hours. The machines kept beeping. Steady. That was good. Right? As long as they beeped, she was alive. A nurse brought Sky a blanket. You're shaking, honey. She was. Her whole body trembled. From cold. From fear. From exhaustion catching up. The nurse wrapped the blanket around her shoulders. Warm. Soft. It smelled like hospital. Like safety. Like hope. Is she going to be okay? Sky whispered. The nurse's face was kind but careful. The doctors are doing everything they can. That answer again. The non-answer. The maybe without promise. More minutes passed. 10. 20. 30. Finally, a doctor pulled off his mask. Turned to Sky. She's stable. Sky's heart jumped. She's okay. She's alive. We pumped her stomach. Got most of the pills out. But she's very weak. The cancer has spread more than we thought. Her body is shutting down. The words hit like punches. Each one worse than the last. What does that mean? Sky asked. But she already knew. Deep down, she knew. The doctor knelt down. Eye level with her. His face was gentle. Sad. It means she needs more care than we can give here. Better medicine. Better treatment. But that costs money. A lot of money. How much? He paused. Hundreds of thousands. Maybe more. Sky's stomach dropped. She looked at her mother on that bed. Tubes everywhere. Machines beeping. Barely alive. We don't have that, she whispered. We don't even have rent money. The doctor put a hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry. We'll keep her comfortable. We'll do what we can. But without treatment, without the right medicine. He didn't finish. Didn't need to. Sky understood. Her mother was dying. And there was nothing anyone could do. The doctor stood up. Went back to check monitors. Write notes. Do doctor things. Sky slid down the wall. Sat on the cold floor. The blanket fell off. She didn't pick it up. Max whined. Pressed against her. She put her arms around him. Buried her face in his wet fur. She'd been so brave tonight. So strong. She'd saved a billionaire. Fought criminals. Risked her life. But she couldn't save her mother. The one person who mattered most. The one person she loved more than anything. And there was nothing she could do. Money. It all came down to money. The thing they'd never had. The thing they'd always needed. The thing that decided who lived and who died. It wasn't fair. None of it was fair. She heard footsteps. Someone walking toward her. She didn't look up. Didn't care who it was. Sky, a gentle voice said. Woman's voice. Kind. Soft. She looked up. It was Mrs. Vale. Mr. Vale's wife. She was here too. Her eyes were red. Like she'd been crying. I heard what happened, Mrs. Vale said. To your mother. I'm so sorry. Thanks, Sky whispered. But what did sorry mean? Sorry didn't change anything. Sorry didn't save anyone. Mrs. Vale sat down beside her. On the cold hospital floor. In her expensive dress. She didn't seem to care about getting dirty. You saved my husband tonight, she said. Her voice thick with emotion. You gave him back to me. I don't know how to thank you. You don't need to thank me. I just did what was right. Most people wouldn't have. Most people would have walked away. But you didn't. You're special, Sky. Very special. Sky shook her head. I'm not special. I couldn't even save my own mom. Mrs. Vale put an arm around her. Pulled her close. Listen to me. Your mother is still here. Still fighting. There's still hope. The doctor said. I know what he said. But doctors don't know everything. Miracles happen. We just have to believe. Sky wanted to believe. Wanted to hope. But hope felt impossible right now. Hope felt like a lie people told to feel better. More footsteps. Multiple people walking. Talking. Getting closer. Sky looked up. Mr. Vale was walking toward them. His cane tapping. And beside him was another man. Older. Gray hair. Expensive suit. He carried a briefcase. Sky, Mr. Vale said. I want you to meet someone. This is Dr. Morrison. He's the best cancer specialist in the country. Maybe the world. The older man smiled. Warm. Genuine. Mr. Vale called me. Told me about your mother. About what you did tonight. I came as fast as I could. But we can't pay, Sky said. Her voice small. Defeated. You don't need to pay, Mr. Vale said. I'm paying. For everything. The treatment. The medicine. The best care available. All of it. Sky's brain couldn't process the words. Couldn't understand. What? You saved my life, Mr. Vale said simply. Now I'm going to save your mother's. It's only fair. But that's too much. I can't. You can. And you will. Because you deserve it. Your mother deserves it. And because that's what family does. Family. Sky whispered. Mrs. Vale squeezed her shoulder. You saved our family tonight. That makes you part of ours. Tears flooded Sky's eyes. Not sad tears this time. Different tears. Relief. Gratitude. Hope. Dr. Morrison opened his briefcase. Pulled out papers. Let me see her file. I'll need to run some tests. Start her on new medicine immediately. We'll move her to a private room with better equipment. He walked over to the doctors. Started talking fast. Medical terms. Treatment plans. Things that sounded like life instead of death. Mr. Vale sat down beside Sky. You gave me my life back tonight. Let me give your mother hers. I don't know what to say, Sky whispered. You don't need to say anything. Just let us help. But even as hope bloomed in her chest, even as doctors talked and plans were made and money solved problems, one thought nagged at Sky. What if it was too late? What if the damage was already done? What if even the best doctor in the world couldn't fix what cancer had broken? What if her mother still died anyway? By morning, the whole city was talking. Everyone. Everywhere. Newspapers had it on the front page. Big bold letters that screamed for attention. Blind billionaire saved by little girl. TV screens showed the warehouse. Police cars surrounding it. The two men in handcuffs being pushed into squad cars. News anchors told the story with excitement in their voices. Drama. Suspense. The kind of story people loved. 10-year-old Sky Carter witnessed a kidnapping and single-handedly tracked down the criminals. Radio stations played it on repeat. Morning shows talked about it. Social media exploded with posts. Shares. Comments. Millions of them. Reporters crowded outside the hospital. Vans with satellite dishes. Cameras on tripods. Microphones everywhere. They all wanted the same thing. An interview. A photo. A statement. Something. Anything. They wanted to see the girl hero. The brave child who'd done the impossible. But Sky couldn't think about any of that. Couldn't care about newspapers or TV or fame. Her whole world was behind those hospital doors. In that room. In that bed. Mom. She sat in the waiting area. Same plastic chair she'd been in for hours. The hard seat made her back hurt. But she didn't move. Couldn't move. Mrs. Lane had come early this morning. Brought fresh clothes. A bag with a toothbrush. Some food Sky couldn't eat. You need to rest, honey, Mrs. Lane said. Her voice gentle. Worried. I can't. Not until I know she's okay. You've been up all night. You need sleep. I'll sleep when she wakes up. Mrs. Lane sighed. Sat beside her. Held her hand. Didn't push anymore. Max was asleep at Sky's feet. The vet had checked his leg. Just bruised, not broken. He'd be okay. He'd heal. Would Mom? Sky stared at the clock on the wall. Tick. 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 Each second felt too slow. Each minute an eternity. Dr. Morrison was still in there. Had been for 3 hours now. Running tests. Checking scans. Doing doctor things. What was taking so long? Was that good or bad? Did long mean complicated or thorough? She didn't know. Couldn't know. Could only wait. And waiting was torture. A TV on the wall played the news on mute. But Sky could see the images. The warehouse. The van. Her school photo they'd somehow found. She looked so different in that photo. Smiling. Happy. Innocent. That was taken last year. Before Dad died. Before Mom got sick. Before everything fell apart. That girl in the photo seemed like a stranger now. Someone from another life. A simpler life. A reporter appeared on screen. Standing outside the hospital. Right outside these walls. Sky could probably walk out there and see her. The reporter gestured excitedly. Behind her, the crowd of journalists had grown. 20 people. 30. Maybe more. All waiting for her. For Sky. For the story. Mrs. Lane noticed. They want to talk to you. You're famous now. I don't want to be famous. I just want my mom. I know, honey. But they won't leave. Not until you give them something. Sky turned away from the TV. I don't care. They can wait forever. A nurse walked past. Stopped. Looked at Sky. Recognition on her face. You're the girl. From the news. Sky nodded. Tired. Too tired to explain. Too tired to care. That was very brave. What you did. Thanks, Sky whispered. But bravery felt empty right now. What good was bravery if it couldn't save the person you loved most? The nurse smiled. Walked away. Back to her job. Back to saving lives. More time passed. 10 minutes. 20. 30. Finally, the door opened. Dr. Morrison walked out. His face was hard to read. Serious but not sad. Focused but not grim. Sky jumped to her feet. How is she? Mrs. Lane stood too. Put a hand on Sky's shoulder. Steadying her. Supporting her. Dr. Morrison pulled off his glasses. Rubbed his eyes. He looked tired. Really tired. She's stable, he said. For now. What does that mean? Sky asked. Her heart pounded. Is she going to be okay? The cancer has spread more than the previous doctors realized. It's in her bones now. Her liver. Her lungs. Each word hit like a hammer. Bones. Liver. Lungs. Everywhere. Too much. Too far. But you can fix it, right? Sky's voice cracked. Desperate. You're the best doctor. Mr. Vale said so. You can fix it. Dr. Morrison knelt down. Looked her in the eyes. I'm going to try. I'm going to do everything I can. But I need you to understand something. Your mother is very sick. Very weak. The treatment will be hard. It might not work. But it might. Yes. It might. There's a chance. A fighting chance. A chance. Not a promise. Not a guarantee. Just a chance. But a chance was more than she'd had yesterday. More than she'd had this morning. A chance was hope. When can I see her? Sky asked. Soon. We're moving her to a private room now. Better equipment. More comfortable. You can stay with her if you want. I want. Dr. Morrison stood. Squeezed her shoulder. You're a brave girl, Sky. Your mother is lucky to have you. He walked away. Down the hall. Toward other patients. Other problems. Other lives to save. Sky sat back down. Her legs felt like water. Like they might give out any second. Mrs. Lane hugged her. See? There's hope. Dar. Morrison will help her. But what if he can't? Don't think like that. Think positive. Believe. Sky wanted to. Wanted to believe so badly it hurt. But doubt was a whisper in her mind. Quiet but constant. What if the cancer was too strong? What if the medicine came too late? What if hope wasn't enough? Footsteps approached. Multiple people. Sky looked up. Mr. and Mrs. Vale walked toward her. Behind them was a man in a suit. Fancy. Expensive. He carried papers. Sky, Mr. Vale said. His voice warm. Kind. I want you to meet someone. This is Mr. Peterson. My lawyer. The lawyer smiled. Professional. Polite. Hello, Sky. I've heard amazing things about you. Hi, Sky said. Confused. Why was a lawyer here? Mr. Vale sat beside her. I've been thinking. About what you did. About your family. About what you need. You're already paying for Mom's treatment. That's more than enough. It's not enough, Mrs. Vale said. She sat on the other side of Sky. We want to do more. What do you mean? Mr. Vale smiled. We're setting up a fund. For your family. For your education. For your future. So you never have to worry about money again. So you can focus on your mother. On healing. On being a kid. Sky's brain couldn't process the words. Couldn't understand. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Mrs. Vale said softly. Let us help. You saved our family. Let us save yours. Tears filled Sky's eyes. Again. She'd cried more in the last 12 hours than in her entire life. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. Mr. Peterson opened his briefcase. Pulled out papers. I'll need some information. But we can handle most of it. The important thing is, you're taken care of. Taken care of. The word sounded strange. Foreign. For so long, no one had taken care of them. It had always been Mom working. Struggling. Sacrificing. And then it was Sky trying to help. Trying to fix everything. Trying to save the world. But now, someone was taking care of them. It felt unreal. Like a dream. Like she might wake up any second and find herself back in that tiny apartment with no heat and no food and no hope. A nurse appeared. Sky. Your mother's room is ready. You can see her now. Sky stood fast. Where? Follow me. They walked down the hallway. Past other rooms. Past other families waiting. Hoping. Praying. They stopped at a door. Room 412. She's sleeping, the nurse said. But she's stable. Talk to her. Hold her hand. Sometimes they can hear us even when they're asleep. Sky nodded. Pushed open the door. Stepped inside. The room was different. Bigger. Brighter. A window with actual sunlight coming through. A comfortable chair. A TV. Flowers someone had sent. And in the bed, her mother. Still pale. Still weak. But breathing. The machines beeped steady. Regular. Alive. Sky walked to the bed. Sat in the chair beside it. Took her mother's hand. Still cold but warmer than before. Hi, Mom, she whispered. It's me. I'm here. I'm not leaving again. I promise. She waited. Hoping for a response. A squeeze. A flutter of eyelids. Anything. Nothing. Just breathing. Just beeping machines. Just silence. A lot happened last night, Sky continued. Her voice soft. Gentle. I saw something bad. But I did something good. I helped someone. Just like you taught me. Just like Dad taught me. Still nothing. Mr. Vale is paying for your treatment. The best doctor is helping you. Everything's going to be okay now. We don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about rent. You can just focus on getting better. She squeezed her mother's hand. So you need to get better, okay? You need to wake up. Because I need you, Mom. I can't do this alone. Her voice broke. Tears fell. Hot. Heavy. They dripped onto the white hospital sheets. Made dark spots. Please wake up. Please. Hours passed. Sky sat there. Holding her mother's hand. Watching her breathe. Counting heartbeats on the monitor. Mrs. Lane brought food. Sky ate a little. Just enough to stop her stomach from hurting. Mrs. Vale brought a pillow and blanket. You should rest. Not yet. Evening came. The sun set outside the window. Orange. Pink. Purple. Beautiful. Mom would have loved it. Sky's eyes grew heavy. So heavy. She fought sleep. Fought to stay awake. Stay alert. Stay present. But exhaustion won. Her eyes closed. Her head dropped to the side of the bed. Still holding her mother's hand. Sleep took her. Deep. Dreamless. Empty. Sometime in the night, she felt something. A movement. Small. Gentle. Fingers squeezing hers. Her eyes flew open. She looked at her mother's face. The eyes were still closed. The face still pale. But the fingers. They moved again. Squeezed. Weak but real. Mom. Sky whispered. Her heart raced. Mom, can you hear me? The fingers squeezed again. Stronger this time. Mom. You're awake. You can hear me. But the eyes didn't open. The lips didn't move. Just the fingers. Just that small squeeze. Was she awake? Asleep? Somewhere in between. Sky pressed the call button. Nurse. She moved. She squeezed my hand. Footsteps running. The door burst open. A nurse rushed in. Checked the monitors. Checked her mother. Her vitals are improving, the nurse said. Surprised. Happy. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. She's fighting. Fighting. That was Mom. Always fighting. Always strong. The nurse left. The room fell quiet again. Sky held her mother's hand tighter. That's it, Mom. Keep fighting. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. She waited. Hoping for another squeeze. Another sign. But nothing came. Just steady breathing. Just beeping machines. Still, it was something. A small victory. A tiny miracle. Hope bloomed in Sky's chest. Warm. Bright. Real. Maybe Dr. Morrison could help. Maybe the medicine would work. Maybe Mom would recover. Maybe. But as Sky sat there in the dark hospital room, holding her mother's cold hand, listening to machines breathe for her, one question haunted her mind. Even if Mom survived the cancer, would she ever truly be the same? And 3 days passed. Long, slow. Painful days. But something was changing. Something small. Something that felt like hope trying to break through darkness. Sunlight filled the hospital room now. The blinds were open. Light streamed through the windows. Warm. Bright. Real. The monitors were quieter. No more alarms. No more doctors rushing in with panic on their faces. Just steady beeps. Regular rhythms. The sound of life holding on. Sky sat in the chair beside her mother's bed. She'd barely left that spot in 3 days. Mrs. Lane brought food. Clean clothes. Tried to make her rest. But Sky couldn't leave. Wouldn't leave. Not again. On the third morning, something happened. Something that made Sky's heart stop. Her mother's fingers moved. Just a little. A twitch. A flutter. Then more. Deliberate. Purposeful. Then her eyes opened. Slow. Confused. Blinking against the light. She looked around. Saw white walls. Machines. Tubes. Then her eyes found Sky. Baby. Her voice was so soft. Barely a whisper. Weak. But it was there. Sky jumped up so fast the chair fell backward. Crashed to the floor. She didn't care. Didn't even notice. Mom! You're awake. She grabbed her mother's hand. Held it tight. Tears poured down her face. Happy tears this time. Relief tears. Grateful tears. Where am I? Her mother's voice cracked. Dry. Painful. The hospital. You're safe. You're okay. Her mother tried to sit up. Couldn't. Too weak. Her arms shook with the effort. She fell back against the pillow. How did we don't have money for. Don't worry about that, Mom. Just rest. Everything's taken care of. But. No buts. Just rest. Please. Tears ran down her mother's face. Slow. Quiet. I thought I was gone. I thought I'd never see you again. You're here. You're here. Sky pressed her forehead against her mother's hand. Breathed in. Breathed out. Real. Alive. Present. A nurse heard the commotion. Rushed in. Saw her mother awake. Her face lit up. Oh my goodness. You're awake. She pressed the call button. Dr. Morrison, she's awake. Yes, room 312. Right now. Within minutes, the room filled with people. Doctors. Nurses. Everyone checking. Testing. Asking questions. What's your name? Sarah Carter. Do you know where you are? Hospital. Do you know what day it is? She paused. Thought. No. I don't. That's okay. You've been asleep for 3 days. 3 days. Her mother's eyes went wide. 3 days. Dr. Morrison pushed through the crowd. Checked her chart. Her vitals. Her eyes. This is good. Very good. Better than I expected. He turned to Sky. Smiled. She's stronger than she looks. That's a good sign. Can I talk to her? Sky asked. Yes. But keep it brief. She needs rest. He turned to the others. Everyone out. Give them privacy. The room cleared. Just Sky and her mother now. Quiet. Peaceful. Sky sat back down. Held her mother's hand. How do you feel? Tired. Weak. Confused. Her mother looked at the machines. The tubes. What happened? Sky's throat tightened. You took too many pills, Mom. I found you. Mrs. Lane called 911. They brought you here. Her mother's eyes filled with shame. Pain. I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't mean, the pain was so bad. I just wanted it to stop. I know, Mom. I know. Where were you? When it happened? You weren't home. Sky hesitated. How much should she tell? About the kidnapping? The warehouse? The fight? I went out. To get help. To find medicine for you. Not a lie. Not exactly. Just not the whole truth. Her mother squeezed her hand. Weak but real. You're a good girl. Too good. You shouldn't have to take care of me. It should be the other way around. We take care of each other. That's how it works. Later that day, Mr. and Mrs. Vale came to visit. They brought flowers. White roses. Beautiful. Expensive. Mrs. Vale walked to the bed. Smiled down at Sky's mother. Hello, Sarah. I'm so glad you're awake. Who are you? Her mother's voice confused. Weak. I'm Eleanor Vale. This is my husband Leonard. Your daughter saved his life 3 days ago. Her mother looked at Sky. Eyes wide. What? Sky looked down. It's a long story. Mr. Vale smiled. His blind eyes looking forward. Your daughter is a hero. She witnessed a kidnapping. Followed the criminals. Saved me. She's the bravest person I've ever met. Her mother's hand tightened on Sky's. You did what? I had to, Mom. I couldn't just walk away. You could have been killed. But I wasn't. And neither was Mr. Vale. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. Pride. Fear. Gratitude. All mixed together. You're just like your father. Too brave for your own good. She's her father's daughter, Mrs. Vale said softly. And you raised her well. Mr. Vale stepped forward. We're paying for your treatment. All of it. The best doctors. The best medicine. Whatever you need. Her mother's face went pale. I can't accept that. It's too much. You can. And you will. Mr. Vale's voice was firm. Kind but firm. Your daughter saved my life. Let me save yours. It's only fair. Her mother looked at Sky. Then at the valets. Then back at Sky. Tears ran down her face. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. Just, thank you. They all laughed softly. Not loud. Not big. But real. Honest. The sound of hope finding its way back. That night, Sky sat by her mother's bed again. The silver cane she'd found that rainy night leaned against the wall. She'd kept it. A reminder. A memory. It brought me to you, she said. Holding it up. Her mother looked at it. Then at Sky. No, baby. It brought him to us. Sky smiled. Put the cane down. Took her mother's hand. How are you feeling? Better. Still weak. Still tired. But better. A month later, the city gathered at the docks. The same place where everything had happened. Where Sky had chased kidnappers through the rain. Where she'd hidden behind barrels. Where she'd risked her life. But it looked different now. Completely different. The old warehouse was gone. Torn down. Demolished. Nothing left but empty space. In its place stood something new. Something beautiful. Something that gave hope. A bright building. Clean. Modern. Glass walls that reflected sunlight. The roof was silver. Shining. Like a beacon. Above the entrance hung a sign. Big letters. Silver. Gleaming. Everyone could read it from blocks away. The Sky Center, for courage and hope. Hundreds of people crowded the sidewalk. Children held umbrellas shaped like hearts. Families stood together. Reporters with cameras. News vans. Everyone wanted to be there. To see it. To be part of something good. Mr. Vale stood at a podium. His white cane beside him. Sky stood next to him. And beside Sky was her mother. Sky's mother looked different now. Color in her face. Not pale anymore. Not gray. Pink. Healthy. Alive. Her hair was growing back. Short. Thin. But there. The treatment had worked. The cancer was shrinking. The doctors said she had a chance. A real chance. She could stand on her own now. Walk on her own. Smile on her own. Live on her own. The transformation was slow. Hard. Painful. But real. Mr. Vale cleared his throat. The crowd went quiet. Everyone listened. Hundreds of faces turned toward him. "This center will help families who can't afford medical care," he said. His voice strong. Clear. It was inspired by a little girl who refused to walk away when everyone else did. The crowd clapped. Loud. Long. People cheered. Some cried. Happy tears. Grateful tears. Sky felt her face get hot. She looked down. Embarrassed. She didn't feel like a hero. She just did what anyone should do. Max stood beside her. His tail wagged. He wore a little red bow for the ceremony. He looked handsome. Happy. Healthy. His leg was completely healed now. Her mother put an arm around her. Pulled her close. Kissed the top of her head. "I'm so proud of you, baby. I just did what Dad would have done." "No. You did more than that. You changed the world." When Mr. Vale cut the ribbon, something magical happened. A light drizzle began. Just a few drops. Soft. Gentle. Like the sky was crying happy tears. Sky looked up at the clouds. Felt the rain on her face. Cool. Clean. Real. "Rain again," she whispered. Mr. Vale turned his head toward her. Smiled. Like he could feel it too. "It's not a storm this time. It's a blessing." She grinned. Remembered that night. That terrible, wonderful, life-changing night. Rain means keep going. He nodded. His blind eyes looking forward. Seeing nothing but understanding everything. "And you did. You kept going even when everyone else stopped." People started going inside. Looking around. Touching walls. Reading plaques. Seeing what this place would do. How many lives it would save. How many families it would help. A woman with a small child walked past. The child was bald. Thin. Sick. Cancer. The woman's eyes were red from crying. But she smiled when she saw the sign. Hope on her face. An old man in a wheelchair rolled by. His daughter pushed him. Both of them looking at the building like it was a miracle. Because maybe it was. A teenager held his father's arm. Guiding him inside. The father looked weak. Sick. But alive. Fighting. Trying. All of them would get help now. Real help. The kind that saved lives. The kind that gave second chances. The kind that made the impossible possible. Because of what happened that rainy night. Because one girl saw something wrong and decided to make it right. Sky's mother squeezed her hand. "You gave people hope, baby. Real hope. We gave them hope. Together. All of us." Mrs. Vale hugged them both. "You're part of our family now. Forever." The ceremony continued. Speeches. Photos. Celebrations. Everyone happy. Everyone grateful. Everyone feeling like the world was a little bit better than it was yesterday. But as the crowd celebrated, as cameras flashed, as Mr. Vale gave his speech about courage and kindness and never giving up, Sky noticed something. Across the street, a black car was parked. Engine running. Windows tinted. Dark. Watching. She couldn't see inside. But she could feel eyes on her. On Mr. Vale. On everyone. The car sat there. Still. Silent. Like a shadow. Like danger waiting. Max noticed too. He stopped wagging his tail. His ears went flat. A low growl came from his throat. Warning. Protecting. What's wrong, boy? Sky whispered. The car's window rolled down. Just a crack. Just enough for someone inside to see out. To watch. To plan. Sky saw a face. Just for a second. A man. Middle-aged. Expensive suit. Cold eyes. Eyes full of anger. Hate. Revenge. Victor Hale. The friend who betrayed Mr. Vale. The one who ordered the kidnapping. The one who'd been arrested. Released on bail. The one whose trial was coming soon. He stared at the building. At the celebration. At Mr. Vale. At Sky. His eyes burned with fury. With rage barely controlled. Then the window rolled back up. Slow. Deliberate. Like a promise. Like a threat. The car didn't move. Just sat there. Engine idling. Waiting. Watching. Sky's hand tightened on the silver cane she still carried everywhere. The one she'd found that night. The one that started everything. Her mother noticed her face. Sky. What's wrong? Nothing, Mom. Nothing. But it wasn't nothing. It was something. Something dark. Something dangerous. Victor was out there. Free. Angry. Planning. The trial wouldn't start for months. And until then, he could do anything. Go anywhere. Hurt anyone. The car started moving. Slow. Quiet. It pulled away from the curb. Drove down the street. Turned the corner. Gone. But not really gone. Never really gone. Just waiting. Plotting. Preparing. Max barked once. Sharp. Urgent. He'd seen it too. Felt it too. Danger wasn't over. The storm wasn't finished. Sky looked at her mother. At Mr. and Mrs. Vale. At all the people celebrating. At all the families getting help. At all the good that came from that terrible night. The world seemed brighter now. Safer. Better. A place where courage mattered. Where kindness won. Where good people helped each other. But as the sun broke through the clouds, as the drizzle stopped, as everyone clapped and cheered and celebrated, Sky couldn't shake one feeling. A feeling deep in her bones. In her gut. In her heart. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Victor was still out there. Still angry. Still dangerous. Still planning something. The question wasn't if he'd come back. The question was when. And what would he do when he did? Sky looked at the building. At the Sky Center sign. At all the hope it represented. At all the lives it would save. At all the good it would do. But she also looked at the street where the black car had been. At the empty space it left behind. At the shadow that lingered even after the car was gone. She squeezed her mother's hand tighter. I love you, Mom. I love you too, baby. So much. Promise me you'll be careful. Promise me you'll stay safe. Her mother looked at her. Confused. Of course. Why? Just promise. I promise. But promises couldn't stop what was coming. Promises couldn't protect them from what was already in motion. Promises were just words. And words couldn't fight the kind of evil that lived in men like Victor Hale. The celebration continued. Music played. People laughed. Children ran around. Life went on. Normal. happy, peaceful. But Sky knew the truth. She'd seen too much. Done too much. Survived too much to believe in peaceful anymore. Somewhere in this city, Victor Hale was planning. Plotting. Preparing his revenge. And when he struck, it would be fast. Brutal. Unexpected. The storm might be over. But a darker storm was coming. One that would make that rainy night look like nothing. One that would test everything. Everyone. All of them. Sky looked at Max. At his alert eyes. His protective stance. He felt it too. Knew what she knew. Danger was coming. The only question was when. And as the sun set over the new Sky Center, as people celebrated and hoped and dreamed of better days, as Sky stood with her mother and the Valles and everyone she loved, one thought burned in her mind. She'd saved them once. But could she save them again? When Victor came back? When the real fight began? When everything they'd built was threatened? She looked at the silver cane in her hand. The same cane that started everything. The same cane that had become her symbol. Her reminder. Her weapon if she needed it. And she knew. Deep down. In her heart. In her soul. In her bones. She'd do it again. Fight again. Risk everything again. Because that's what heroes did. That's what her father would have done. That's what courage meant. But next time, would courage be enough? Or would the darkness finally win? You just witnessed something incredible. If this story touched your heart, subscribe right now and comment, part 2, if you want to see what happens when Victor comes back for revenge. This is just the beginning. Subscribe because Sky's story isn't over. Not even close.